Mark, what is your take on focusing on just one pair? See, I used to think this when I first got in trading. I used to think surely you could just focus on one pair and master the pair. Some people do, and some people have found a way to do it. I'm sure there's people out there that literally just trade one pair and one pair only, and have found a way to do well. I don't dispute that. However, if we just go for the majority and you look at market cycles, by just focusing on one pair, it's almost the question as to why do you want to limit yourself when there's so much opportunity out there? The market goes through different cycles. So if you're just trading Aussie dollar constantly and that's it, well, there will be a point in which the market doesn't respond to how you're trading. And you can say, yeah, but I know the pair, and like you almost get too emotionally involved in it and too attached that you think you can predict every part of it, which is encouraging your ego to be involved, which will eventually sabotage you anyway. So I would just say for the majority of people, it's just the question is why? Why do you want to focus on one pair when you have so much to choose from and the market has different cycles? So you could be trading pound CAD, for example. It could just go into a very, very choppy, messy cycle. It doesn't mean that your strategy doesn't work. It's just in that environment, it may not be performing as well as possible. So how do you know that? In the moment, you wouldn't. So it means that you're increasing your chance to go through these kind of patches where you just have drawdown for ages. And you don't realize until you're halfway in, just like a correction, it's like, right, it's just been moving sideways. And then you're just you might say, I would just trade the range, or like, you can't predict that in the moment. It's just virtually impossible. So having more to choose from, it doesn't mean have 20 pairs and watch, because less is more. But this obsession with just wanting to focus on one pair, I've seen it my whole trading career, and I've hardly met anyone that really does well for the long run doing that, because they tend to go through large periods of drawdown and then it gets very emotional. They don't scale up. So I think in theory it sounds like amazing. Focus and master one pair. But the reality is, in the long run, it's very, very different. People that do that tend to be quite inexperienced and just obsess over these things. But again, you might end up trading 4 pairs or 5 pairs, but limiting yourself to one, I think, just increases so much unnecessary emotional stress.